Hey guys, X Destroyer here, and so with ninth edition coming out in its release, I thought it would be helpful if I, at least for the guardsmen out there, if I gave army recommendations, or at least an army list, or at least some army list that can possibly help uh, your games go a bit easier. So, with this file right here, we're going to be starting with possible ninth edition scions. Now, for 8th edition, things are going to be a bit different. That does have to be said. All right. For ninth edition, everything, at least for the point system, I know for like combat patrols and things such as that, it's going to be PowerPoint based. It's not going to be, the normal like points you see right here with the 95. It's going to be done on these points right here, this PL. That's how it's going to be measured, at least I think. All right. So we'll get on to what you'd possibly want to do for scions, at least. All right. So for scions, at the base minimum, for regiments, there's several I can offer. Lambden Lions, and what these guys do is that they give you a +1 to your AP, which is amazing because that means you're just basically getting on all weapons, just so you know, all weapons that are within this doctrine. So that goes to your vehicles, to your infantry, that goes to everything. You're going to be doing a minimum of -2 AP with this. It's going to be awesome. With Idaean Dragons, or how Lotan Dragons, or however you're supposed to say this, they're going to be pretty good too. Would I take them? And not really. The Physian Jackals, I wouldn't take them because all they really do is a -2 morale. Now, for ninth, that might be incredibly devastating because of how the morale system is supposed to work. Because as soon as they fail morale, they'll they'll have to do combat attrition, which can just cause them to start losing everything at that point. I would take the Captic Eagles, simply because you get these guys in a Turox, and you disembark them from the Turox. That first volley they get, if they have like heavy volley guns, is gonna have +1 to that hit roll. So instead of hitting on threes like they normally do, they'll be hitting on twos, and that's like a minimum. If you're running a 10-man squad of scions, that's like a minimum of 16 shots right there, or a maximum of 16 shots. You're probably gonna get like 7. No, that's too much. You're probably gonna get like 5 total hits and on that, which can be absolutely great. Uh, I don't really see a difference between the Iodian Dragons or Grogans to the regular Stormtroopers regiment. Now, there probably is a difference that I just don't see. I think the Iodian Dragons, when they roll a 6 to hit, it's just an automatic wound or an automatic mortal wound. I could be wrong, but I don't really play with these guys. The only ones I've ever really played with are the Lambden Lions and Captic Eagles. I haven't really played with anyone else. So now going into the army itself, what's going to be your command? What's going to be everything? Now, with a Scion army or with a Scion based army, there's kind of two routes you can go. You can either stay with Scions, or you can become an inquisitorial like force where you add Inquisitors. For the sake of simplicity, we're just going to go for normal Scions because I've never done anything with Inquisitors before. So starting with Scions, what are we going to run? Well, if you bought the Start Collecting kit, you're going to get a Tempestor Prime and a Lord Commissar. These are great points to start at. All right? These are amazing points to start at. For our Commissar, what melee weapon you're going to give him is the Power Sword because it's cheap, and with a Power Fist, you lose 1 to hit, and so with the Commissar, you don't really want that to happen. But you would already have 2 commands. I would just keep these guys as is and run everyone else in 5 men. or 5-man and a command squad. So for the Tempestor Prime, what are we going to give him? Well, you have two choices here. With the Hotshot Las pistol, turn that to a plasma pistol, by my recommendation. You don't have to. Or a command rod. Personally, I would pick the command rod and the power sword. That's just me. You don't have to do it. In fact, you can go cheap and just give him the chain sword. I would just choose the power sword. With him, you're going to want to make the Tempestor Prime your warlord, and then you're going to be given warlord traits. Now, with the Lambden Lions, you're given a special thing, a special ability, which is the keys to the armory. All right, and what this ability does is that I think every unit within 6 inches of the commander gets to reroll hit rolls of 1 for attacks. All right, but they have to be within 6 inches, so that basically turns them into a Space Marine captain. As for Heirlooms of Conquest, I wouldn't get the retractor field because to me it just doesn't seem like it's necessary. Like, yeah, the inbuilt save is good, especially if there's going to be snipers, but the Laurel of Commands is way better. I would take the Laurels of Command. Now, if you're going to be doing Crusades, I think things are going to be a bit different. Like, your commander can't start immediately out with a thing, but this is just for normal games, not necessarily Crusading games. I will get to the list for that at a later date. So now you've given him the Laurels of Command, the keys to the armory, and everything else. There's one stratagem the Scions have that let a Ordo Tempestus or Ordo Prefectus unit contain another warlord trait. So that means if you run that stratagem, you'll have to do it before battle. You give him the warlord trait, and suddenly he can now pick any of these abilities. Now, I would give him the Master of Command ability, or maybe Bellowing Voice. That's just my opinion. I give him one of these whenever it comes to warlord traits. You might have to roll for it. I don't exactly remember. I believe you don't have to, though. I believe you can pick, but that has to be like player agreed upon. Oh, we're just going to go ahead and get rid of that. As you can see here, we're already at 7 PL. For the new edition, when it comes to discussing army size, they decided in the rulebook to put it at a combined PowerPoint limit. So it will say like 50 PowerPoints for combat patrol. That's like 25 PowerPoints for each player. For here, we're going to go up to the Onslaught, which is the Incursion, which is 100 PowerPoints total, which would be 50 PowerPoints for each player, which for the guard is kind of stupid. 50 PowerPoints is still kind of stupid for us. So for the troops, we're just going to be running a minimum of 3 squads, because one of these squads is going to be 10-man. All right? And it's going to have 4 special weapons. All right? 4 special weapons, and one of these Scions is going to have a Voxcaster. So you'll go down here, just put that. Hold up. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. So here you already have a 10-man squad. What you're going to do, all right, is Melta, Plasma. Now, what you can do is just go straight for Melta guns, but with me, I feel like that just gets my guys a bit close, and you miss the safety of what a plasma gun is. Like a plasma gun will do a safe 2 damage flat if you overcharge it, which I don't think in ninth edition is going to be much of a problem anymore because it used to be you roll a 1, they die. They're changing that for ninth edition, I think. Now, for the melta guns is if you need sheer power or just sheer damage brought out once you hit. Because these guys will be doing D6 damage, and at half their range, you get to roll 2 dice and pick the highest result. Now, mind you, when you're running Lambden Lions, it's going to be +1 to the AP. So this is going to be a -5 AP gun, which nothing can save you unless it has a invulnerable save. -5 against any vehicle is going to be stupendous, and players are going to hate you for it. All right, with plasma guns, it's going to be -4 AP. Completely ridiculous. You're going to have a very, very minus AP heavy army here to the point it's actually kind of insane. When it comes to the Tempester, just go ahead and just launch them with the plasma pistol. There's really no point in not running the plasma pistol with these guys, in my opinion. One, because points don't matter anymore. Regular points don't matter. You're running power points, so you might as well run these guys with the best bang out of your buck, and that would just, with me, be the plasma pistol and the chainsword. Now, for this regular squad right over here, you're going to want to take out just two normal scions. All right. 2 normal scions and put them with special weapons. All right. 3, 4, 5. Hold on. Let me get rid of one more scion. Right here. And these guys can be these guys I recommend 2 melta guns. All right. And change this hotshot lab pistol to the plasma pistol. This is for basically the same reason why we put 2 melta guns in the top squad. All right. It's to be damaging in terms of anti-armor. All right, going to the next Scion squad. These guys can be just take out 3 guys, leave 1, put a Voxcaster, and then put 2 special weapons. And for these guys, I recommend doing volley guns. What these volley guns are just going to be volume of fire. These are going to be your volume of fire. And the reason why I say volley guns is that these guys are going to be stronger than your average gun. All right, because your average hot shotgun is just going to be strength 3 -1 AP 1 damage. With the volley gun, it's going to be 4 shots at strength 4 -2 AP, but because you're Lambden Lions, it's going to be -3 AP, which is going to make it a whole lot more destructive and a whole lot more powerful. This is essentially just going to turn it into a regular plasma gun that has the heavy trait. All right, and we just changed that to plasma pistol. Going into elites. Actually, let's skip elites real quick so we can go in with gunships. These guys are going to be important. All right? Because
Dennis, do I have to keep the dress code of khakis or no?
Dude, no.
Okay, thank God. Because none of the khakis did.
When it comes to transports and vehicles in general, with the guard, you can go 2 routes. You can do what I normally do, which is run airborne, which is pick out. I normally do Vendetta gunships. I'll do 2 Vendetta gunships. All right, which you'll notice that puts us at 40 PL. We're already over the limit for the. I think we're at the onslaught, which is 200. I think. Yeah, no, the strike force is going to be 200 PL, so it's going to be 100 for each player. But we're already over incursion. That just shows you how just insane Vendetta gunships are, because they're basically 6 las cannons. Basically. or 4 las cannons, or however many you want to say in. It's just gonna add right there. So we're at 40 PL. I see this strike force being the most common being played because it's just the right size in my opinion for what you want. Next we have like 60 more power points to go through. You have 2 Vendetta gunships. You know what else you should throw in there while you're at it? Let's go look at transports. Dedicated transports. Why won't it? Hold on. Let me do something real quick. Dedicated transports. Oh, there we go. I need to get my Turox primes here. We'll add 2 Turox primes, and now we're at 52. Let's put this like 2 power points over. All right, from the 100 for each play. 2 power points over for that 100 incursion mark. All right, 2 power points over, and literally this is keeping. I mean, this is just changing the volley guns with autocannons, but that doesn't change power points. Literally, this is a decent setup, and this isn't even running as many Scion squads as you could if you're playing a strike force. It's absolutely ridiculous. You're gonna have like maybe the 10-man squad definitely in a Vendetta. You're gonna have 1 Scion for each Turox Prime, and you have a fully mechanized force with your Lord Commissar and Tempestor Prime being able to be moved between whether you want them in the gunships or the Prime or the Turox Prime. Completely redonkulous. This is a great 1,000-point setup right here for the Scions. This is if you're going to plan on starting this way, that's completely fine. This is actually a really good setup right here to start out with, in my opinion. Going to let me save this roster down, and let's load in another one, the normal Imperial Guard. Shit, did I accidentally? Oh crap, I think I might just never fear. I, on the other hand, decide to be smart boy and do this. Done. So this is a 1,200 point game I played at one point, and this is essentially a normal Imperial Guard army. Let's take out the Armored Sentinels for fast attack because those aren't going to really be needed very much. You have your Commissars. You have 2 command squads. Let's add another HQ because you shouldn't just be running 1 HQ. We did this because it was a we did that because it was a home game and it's part of a story. We'll add another tank commander. And as you can see here, this army is literally 85 power points. We can still go more with this. We can still include much, much, much more. And for this guy, I normally have a Nova, not a Nova cannon. Where is it? It's the Vanquisher battle cannon. I normally play with that for my tank commander. And just nothing but heavy bolters. All right, so let's go into the meaning of this setup. So we're going in with our regular squads. We have 5 normal, 5 normal guardsman squads. Each with a varied special weapons, with a special weapons guardsman. This one being a flamer, another flamer, a heavy weapons team that has an autocannon, another flamer, and another flamer. You can ditch out one of these flamers for for another heavy weapons. So you get rid of the flamer, go here, get rid of another guy, and go heavy weapons team. For that heavy weapons team, missile launcher. This works too. This is completely fine. Still the same point value and everything. Completely great run. All right. This is a good amount of squads. Next, for elites, we're going to be going to the command squads. You're going to be running 2 command squads. One with the regimental standard. You can run it with lasgun. I normally do lasgun. Then plasma gun. And then lasgun with voxcaster. And, always run a medic. Always at least have one medic because you never know who that guy can save. For the next command squad is going to be a lot of heavy weapon focus, a lot of special weapon focus. You're going to have a heavy flamer and you're going to have a grenade launcher in the second one. Again, you can run it with whatever you want because it doesn't matter with PowerPoints. Then 2 commissars. Now, you can put a 3rd commissar in here, which I would recommend putting another commissar just for the extra morale and just give them plasma pistol and power sword. Then we go to tanks. Now for tanks, you can all these are supposed to be run as their own squads, but you'll notice we still have extra points to go over, and that's because, and the reason for that is because after these 3 tanks, you're going to be adding another tank, just a 4th tank. What is it going to be? Really whatever you want. I would say either go for the battle cannon, the Punisher, the Executioner, I think it is, or the Exterminator. Or no, not the Executioner, the Eradicator. For this, we're just going to say it's a Punisher because I need to be getting one of those soon. And what are we going to do for the sponsons? Well, we're going to do heavy bolters and heavy bolters. Just 3 heavy bolters is going to be a complete anti-infantry gun. And we have 3. And for transports, you're going to just want to do 3 chimeras. And that puts you at a 107 power level, or power points. This is a great build. This is a great game. This is an army that is going to be great for any scenario. You're probably going to ask why flamers instead of any other special weapons. And the reason why I choose flamers is because the guard is not going to be great in melee. You should try to avoid melee at all costs. So I would put flamers in there to ward off any chances of Space Marine or anyone charging you. Now, doctrine. What doctrine are you going to run for the Imperial Guard? Simple. The only regiment is Cadian. You're going to run Cadian regiment all the way through. I wish they would have made the custom doctrines a bit better, so you could go, so you would have more choices. But if you wanna win, or you wanna have a really good game, go Cadian. Go Cadian or Catachan. That's my opinion. My opinion is what majority of people do, simply because with Cadians you get to reroll 1s, and if you give a unit the take aim order, you get to reroll that 1. Just straight. With the take aim order, you get to reroll all failed hits. Outstanding. Let's just make him our warlord real quick. He's gonna have the laurels of command immediately. And what's gonna be his trait? You could go for Superior Tactical Training, which is a decent warlord trait for Acadians. I personally prefer either Grand Strategist or Master of Command. What Master of Command is going to do is going to give him another command trait. Normally, he will have 2. Master of Command will give him 3 with Laurels of Command, which gives him a free command. That's going to be 4 commands that you can just issue around. Oh man, they're tired. So this is my recommended build for normal guardsmen that aren't Cadians. So yeah, guys, this is just my 2 cents for what's to come in 9th edition, how your games are to be expected, whether or not they're competitive. Really, I'm just trying to give you a good, fun list that I know is fun to work around. That you can pull things out if you need to make it a smaller game. You can add things in if it's a larger game. But this is going to be the skeletal structure of an army, at least in my opinion, for the normal guard and for the scions. I hope you guys have a good day. You'll have a great day. And please stay safe out there. The world has gotten a whole lot crazier. For the Emperor, my guardsmen, this is X Destroyer, your regimental commander, signing out.